Hello, friends. Welcome to the Art of Shame-Free Living podcast. So sometimes as I'm kind of going through things and I'm journaling and I'm meditating and I'm kind of moving and shifting some emotions, words just come. Sometimes poetry comes, sometimes a phrase comes, sometimes a quote comes, and it's always potent and so good and exactly what I need to get out of it that day. And the other day, I was kind of just pondering and journaling and processing and meditating. And one of the ideas that came to me was like, what are the changes that have actually happened in my life from coaching? Like, what does that look like? It's so easy to be like, I feel different, because I really do feel different. But what does that mean on the other side of this work? And so I'm going to share with you what that means. I sent a similar thing out in email and on Instagram too, but I really want to get into what these changes actually look like. I thought there was just going to be a couple, but then it ended up being like a full-blown TED Talk. But I did recently hear at a retreat that I was at that like 90 to 95% of what's happening in our nervous system is on the subconscious and unconscious level. And so we can't really attack it at a conscious space. And I think the subconscious approach that I've had to coaching over the last few years has really shifted things on a deep level for me. So number one, I love my body. I'm reading these from my phone because I can't just remember them all, but I love my body truly, almost to the point of hilarity, because I just legitimately think it's amazing, no matter what size it is, no matter what I look like, and no matter how it feels each day. Like even when I'm sick, doesn't feel like a war against my body. It feels like we're on the same team. This alone feels like I've won the prize of life. I was telling a friend the other day and she's like, I don't think that people think that way. And I was like, I don't think they do either. This sort of feels like, okay, I'm good. Like I got there. I never thought that I would get there. So I realize how rare and special that gift is. And it's pretty fascinating that subconscious work can really heal so many things. Number two, I never yell, like never ever. I don't even have to try to not anymore. I used to have to try, but it feels like it's not even a try anymore. I don't feel the reactive energy so intensely as I did before. I'm able to really like know and feel the trigger and move through it and not feel the trigger so intensely. Because often when I was yelling, it would actually increase the emotion instead of decrease the emotion. It was like a mosquito bite that I would itch and it would just get itchier and itchier the more that I itched it. It's not a way to actually release emotion. It feels like it sometimes, but when I'm yelling at somebody, it just feels like it comes back, like the emotion just balloons. And I don't feel that way anymore. I genuinely love my life. My top emotions would be peace, calm, contentment, sometimes like boredom even, which actually feels good because it feels just kind of restful. I feel that way most of the day. I really believe that so much is possible. I believe in the possibility of myself, of the world, of others, of experiences. Like it feels kind of adventurous and exciting. Oftentimes, this has created a lot of change in the lives of my clients, but also in the life of me and the lives of my kids, because I really am able to believe in kind of impossible things for them that have then manifested into reality for them as well in ways that I wouldn't have thought before. If you want to hear more about that, go check out Breathing Beliefs into Your Kids, which is the name of the episode on the Parenting Coach podcast that I used to be the host of, that you can still go and download. And it's one of my most downloaded episodes. We have a part 1 and a part 2 there. So I won't get into that today, but other people are influenced as we change. I know that's all I'll say about that. My husband said something the other day while we were in conversation that triggered me, and I felt the trigger pop up and I could feel it like right here in my chest is where I feel my triggers. And it feels like this up movement. And I could feel it happen. And in the moment that it happened, I was able to just breathe and I was able to relax and I was able to ease into the feeling. And I could feel like in one breath, I could feel it release. And it released so easily that I was able to hold concentration and conversation with my husband still, and then able to hold that space for him and what he was talking about. And in the past, this would have led to passive aggressivity. That's kind of one of my go-tos, maybe downright actual aggression or defensiveness. Or I would have just been totally shut down. Like I'm no longer a part of this conversation. Even if I'm like here physically, I'm not here emotionally. And that's usually what would happen when I was triggered in the past. Like I was no longer there and present for myself or for him or for his feelings. And this felt like a huge win because in the past it could have been hours or days where I would have been feeling that way. My business has always had ups and downs, and I used to feel super intense emotions to this, that attachment that I talk about. I felt amazing when people signed up and terrible when things did not go well. If I had a launch that completely failed or failed in my opinion based on what I had decided randomly should be the number. My emotions were very attached to my business outcomes, very attached to social media outcomes. Not only do I not feel that way anymore, if any amount of attachment pops up, I know exactly what to do to release it and to move through that stickiness and move through that tension and back into the energy of expansion and manifestation, which is the energy that I decide and choose to grow my life and my business in. And because of this, my business grows over time. with ease and less work, much less mind work. I used to think about it a lot. Like even when I wasn't working, I was constantly thinking about work. And that has definitely gone down a lot. I made more money in 2025, more than I ever have in my business before. And I know that that's directly correlated to the work on the inside that I've been doing, not on the outside. It's easy to be like, oh, it's because you were posting more, or you were marketing more, or you were sending more emails, or you learned more about, I don't even know what it is, funnels or whatever. I did not do any of those things. In fact, I think overall I did less of those things, probably a lot less of those things, and still was able to create more income. Going back to the family realm, my kids are thriving above average in emotional regulation, confidence, and also in their ability to feel into that possibility, that creation energy for themselves too. And no, I don't just naturally have kids that are just born amazing or anything like they were easy children. They were not easy children. You can go listen to the Parenting Coach podcast, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, if you want to hear more about that. But we dealt with a lot of neurodiversity and we had a lot of ups and downs, and it was a pretty rocky parenting journey for a lot of years. And I really did struggle to feel like it was ever going to get better. And so being on the end where I can see the kids do so well, and it doesn't mean that they're just great all of the time, but really doing well overall feels miraculous. As I was like typing that out as one of the ideas in my mind, as I was writing it down, I was like, old me would have been like, there is no way, like that's not even possible. So that also feels magical, especially because I was able to do that without the help of medication, behavioral therapy, the typical ways and routes that most people go. And I'm not saying that maybe therapy or medication isn't needed, because that might be part of somebody's path. It wasn't part of our path. And behavioral therapy, I think, can often be actually very detrimental to overall attachment and overall connection to our kids, especially in the ways that it has traditionally been done. So I'm really glad that we found a different way. And I think overall, it worked really well for us. Life is an adventure. Anything is possible. And I truly feel that. I can hold space for discomfort, for heavy feelings, for my emotions. I used to be somebody that just held in my emotions, pushed them down. I thought it was like strong not to feel emotions. I think the opposite is true. I feel like my empathy, my compassion, my feelings that I feel so strongly are all like my most beautiful talents. And I would have never thought that that was possible before. I hold space for my discomfort, for my suffering, for my rest, for my joy, all of which can actually be uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable to be happy, and it can be uncomfortable to be joyful. It can be uncomfortable to rest. And I hold space for all of that and move through it, move to discomfort. So pretty much I just feel like I'm a totally different person than I was 5 years ago, but I feel that way every year now. I'm like, and now I feel different, and now I feel different. And it just feels like I'm just moving more into a space that really is me, that probably was more me when I was little. That's what I feel like now. And coaching is absolutely the reason for that. And whatever you want to call coaching, spiritual coaching, I don't know, mindset coaching, the emotional coaching, the feelings work that I've been able to do has been the work that has changed it the most. So if that's something you're interested in and you're interested in having me be here to support you on your journey, I am for sure open to that. I would love to connect and work with you. And I have several ways to work together in 2026. So you can find them below at the links below. And you can also reach out to me on Instagram at its.crystal.noel. Thanks for being here, and we will see you next week. Before we hop off today, I wanted to invite you into my program, Manifest Me. It is a in-depth, integrated process. We're going to be doing a lot of in-the-body work. It is a process where we're going to be able to find ourselves more, feel more comfortable with who we are. We're going to learn about human design, and we're going to learn about Enneagram, and we're going to learn more about us and our energy and our emotions. And we're going to spend a lot of time in stillness and in silence and sitting with that, which might sound a little resistant, which might sound a little uncomfortable for you, but also it is where the growth happens. I promise you, the body is where the growth and the healing happens. It culminates in a 4-day, 3-night retreat in the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. It includes that. So there'll be a link here that you can go and check that out. But I would love to invite you to come and join us on this beautiful grand adventure. We did it last semester and it was fantastic. We had really great reviews, really great testimonials from the women that joined there. And they felt very different at the end than they did in the beginning. So come and join us if this feels fun and good to you. And sometimes I'll also mention, sometimes my intuition feels a little scary. It feels a little like I'm a little nervous to do that. I'm a little fearful to do that, but it also feels like the right thing. And so just listen for that. If it's not for you, it will not be for you. And you will just know that too. But just believe and trust that you'll know if it's for you, and the timing and the way it will work out for you as well. So come join us there, coachcrystal.ca/manifest-me.